Hello, Natasha. How are you?
Hi, Beatrice. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. So I have to say in advance to all those that are going to be watching tonight that we have been having a little bit of tech thing going on. So hopefully that doesn't interfere with our interview, but just warning those out there in case there is any delays or anything like that. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm so excited to finally have the opportunity to chat about business collaboration with you.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. It's great. It's good. I'm glad we've made it, and I'm sure the tech is all going to come good now.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And for those that are watching for the first time, well, this is the interview series. Let's talk about business collaboration that I run for Colabora. And well, Colabora is about educating small businesses and emerging entrepreneurs as well about the power of effective collaboration. So this is why you are here tonight, because I know that you are a big collaborator and you have that collaborative spirit and have been involved in different collaborations. We actually went into a collaborative photo shoot today together. So I'm really keen to hear all that you have to share with us about your experience collaborating with other businesses, what that have meant to you, to your business, and to your clients as well. So I think to get in the mood and get into the right mindset for the rest of the interview, I would really like you to share with us what does business collaboration means to you?
I think I haven't been articulating this very well in my own process, like in my own experience, because like I said to my husband at dinner, yeah, B wants to interview me. And I was telling her about the work I do with someone else. And she was like, oh, you collaborate. And I was like, oh yeah, I collaborate. Like I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing. So yes, I do collaborate. And I think for me, it's really quite natural for me that the way I learn and the way I process things is through talking it out. So I know everyone has a different way. Like some people are very action based and some people are very reading based, or they like things orally. So when I did uni, I had to do the tutorials and actually get there and talk to someone about it. And it's the same with everything. I just kind of narrate life. So
you have to brainstorm, you have to get feedback, exchange ideas.
Yeah. So I guess for me, collaboration is just my way. I don't really know any other way to do it. And it's just happened quite spontaneously for me.
I love it. And tell us a little bit, because I didn't ask you when we started, because I know what you do, but those that are watching might not know what you do.
Yeah.
So could you tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and maybe business collaboration, telling us how you work with other businesses to serve your clients?
Yep. So my business is I have an ABN in my name. So officially my business doesn't have a name, but I go by the moniker of #Berta Marketing. And that's just a thing that happened because for the last, say, 18 months, I've been networking a lot in Facebook groups, and people started using like #Berta about me. So I just kind of, well, I'll just take that. That seems to work. And my business is really about, I do a lot of education. Similar to you, I educate businesses about marketing, and I also provide one-on-one support, or actually services to businesses whereby I take care of their marketing and I be their marketing agency. And initially it was just me giving consultative services, which I still do one-on-one strategy sessions, you could call it, with people. So I act as the marketing consultant, and then I collaborate with the client. And together, because the client knows the business so well and I know the marketing, we come together and come up with a marketing strategy. But I also collaborate with my team. So now I have a team, which is pretty exciting and all really still settling into place. So I have my own team of people who do some of the social media tasks for me. So I have people that do the Instagram posting,
Yeah.
which is just a very mechanical task. And then I have other people who help me create the social media posts, because my business has got to the point now where I have more than I can do on my own, which is great. And then another way that I collaborate.
That's good.
Yeah. I work with Kat Smith and another woman called Val Cousins. And so we all work under the name of Feisty Cat Social. And that has been ongoing for quite a while, but it's changed shape over time, because Kat is amazing at magnetizing customers. But at times she's enjoyed the tasks, and then other times she hasn't. So when she's not loving the tasks, I love doing the tasks, because I quite like figuring things out, and I get really excited about setting up a new system. So that was a great collaboration that worked really well, where she was playing the lead attracting role and a lot of the customer service role, and I was doing a lot of the operations level kind of work.
Mm-hmm. You complement each other in that
Very
way.
much, yeah. It's just sort of been always like a wonderful coincidence of synchronicity, where she's like, oh, I need this, and I'm like, oh, I need more work, and then she'll call me and it's all perfect. So it hasn't been a very intentional collaboration. Like, we haven't sat down and gone, you go and attract people and then you'll do the task. It hasn't been like that at all. It's just been out of need, but it's worked so well. And then so Kat has pivoted a bit, like, just, you learn more and then you realize, oh, I actually love doing this better. So then she has shifted more to Facebook ads, and she's specialized in that. And then Val specializes quite heavily in web development and SEO. And then I have just ended up knowing a bunch about content marketing and email marketing. So between us, we're just this amazing powerhouse. And Kat's also done a lot of funnel building. So between all of us, in terms of getting the tasks done, we're a really amazing complement for each other. And Kat still really, for Feisty, Kat still performs the role of being the visionary, and she still does a lot of the sales and marketing. Val sort of organizes the operations, and I do a lot of the implementation of operations, and then she outsources accounting. And the integrator role is kind of a bit murky. So
yes.
It's been really good. It's because we all love each other and we all are alike in the ways that matter and gel. Like our values and our mission of what we want, the kind of people we want to help, and the goodness for the earth that we want to achieve through our work is a good baseline for all of us. So that's worked really well. Yeah.
So you share you actually share a lot of things, and I guess because you share that is that the relationship has developed, has grown, and then you are now working together as a team. So from that experience that you've had with Kat and forgot the other
Val,
person's name,
Val. Yeah.
So can you tell us how that relationship, well, can you tell us three things? So one thing is how did you meet, like how that relationship started to build? That's number one. Number two, I would really like to know what are the main benefits that you've seen and that you've experienced, since you stopped working solo, because you were working on your own, to work with a team of people that complement each other. And then the other thing is how that synergy between the three of you and the skills that you have within your team have actually added value to your customers, how that has changed, the services that you provided individually to now provided it together, how that has impacted your customers and your clients.
So the way the relationship was established was I told a friend what I was doing for my degree, and they said, you should talk to Kat. And basically I just hounded Kat for ages until she finally came and told me what she was up to. And then we started the dialogue. That was yonks ago, like maybe two years or more ago. And then with Val, Kat had an existing relationship with Val that I don't actually know how they met or anything. And then I guess I don't know exactly how it's happened, but Kat has been the linchpin in that relationship building. And then in terms of my own team, I just have personally, the people who do the Instagram posting for me was a university friend, was my original teammate. And I just thought, well, I mean, with HR, because I know your background's in HR, often the culture fit is way more important than the skill set, because you can basically teach anyone to do anything, in my opinion. Like, I think humans are really adaptable, and we have strengths and stuff. But when I was a pastry cook, I realized any monkey can do that. Like, pastry cooks think they're pretty special, but really anyone can do that. So I feel like it's like that. I could basically teach anyone to make an email automation. And then the issue really comes down to, well, when the shit hits the fan and something's going wrong and it's very tense, how are the mechanics between these people? Like, I actually need the culture fit to be good. So I need us to agree on what's important intrinsically, like to have similar values is more important than to really have the skills. So that was my original team member, and she was great. And yeah, because she was a friend, I felt quite confident that we'd be able to work it out. But then there is a thing with a friend of like me not wanting to be very boss-like. And that's a theme in my life anyway. I kind of don't really like having to reprimand people. So the people I have in my life now, like one of them's my brother-in-law, and he's out of work and he's a web developer and he's just smart and we get along. And it's like, well, my sister was doing stuff for me and she's like, well, I'm working full time. Why don't you get him to do it? I was like, sure, let's see how it goes. And that so far is really good. And I can see that's got amazing potential for us to go forward. So I guess the relationships have been existing, and it's just been a matter of me. I just approach people. Like, I see people in the, at school and my editor, I just had this feeling, I guess I'm very intuitive, and I just meet people. Even when I first met you, it was like straight away I felt really connected, and usually that means we're going to go deeper in the future, and I don't know why yet. But what I used to do was really like love people intensely and then kind of go, wow, you're really weird. So now I kind of try and contain myself a bit and then find a way to tease it out. So with my editor, I was like, oh, look, because she'd asked me about my business and I explained what I was up to. And I was like, well, what's your thing? Like, what do you do? So that's often a good question for me. I just ask people, especially mums, or just anyone I meet, I'm like, well, what's your thing? Like, what are you amazing at? Because I'm kind of always on the lookout for people who I can move forward with. So I'm kind of just nosy or something. That's a great way for me to connect with people. And it turned out she's an editor and I was like, perfect timing. And she wanted some work. So that's been great.
Awesome.
The second question. Oh,
okay. The second question was about the benefits that developing, for your business, because you were operating solo. Now that you are working with a team, so how has that impacted your business?
There's so many, like on a personal level. I know when I worked in a cafe, and sometimes I would just be having a weird day, and I would take it really personally, and I would think, oh, I'm a really bad person, and it's all so terrible. And then I'd be making coffee and I'd be talking to a broad spectrum of people. I was like, oh, that person's feeling like that and that person's feeling that. And I would go, oh, hey, we're kind of all just under the influence of something and I'm not so alone in it. So that, when you asked me initially the question, I mean, that's number one, such a helpful thing for me because I take everything way too personally. And when I connect with other people, then I see, oh, it's just kind of a thread. It's just kind of a common thread between us and it makes it easier. Well, there's a lot of empathy and we can connect and I just feel a lot calmer about things. And like I said before, like my style of managing my life is really through connecting with people and talking things out. So I don't think about things and then talk about them. I just do the classic talk it through to get the idea formed and clear, which is really annoying for some people, but that's just how I operate. So collaborating's meant that I don't spend so much time going crazy in my head, overthinking everything. I can just talk things out, and it's just more dynamic and alive, the whole process for me. I have little meetings in the day or little Facebook chats because we're working on something together, and it feels great. It feels really good for me. And the benefit to my clients is that, I mean, and Val and Kat's clients, is that between us, we all have this amazing suite. Like, we have a really great package that we can offer to people. That's not, I mean, what kept happening to me was I'd do a strategy session with people and they'd say, cool, like, I want to go ahead with all that cool work, but who am I going to get to do that? And I would say, well, you need to get your VA to do it, or you need to find a VA. And they would say, well, who's a good VA? Because finding a VA is quite hard, or can be a really challenging thing to pull off. So what happened for me was the consulting, I put my rate up to be more of in a consultant role, and my leads just dried up, and I got really down on my business, and I thought, oh, stuff this. Like, I was seeing all these people making VA offers of like, oh, I can do this with your MailChimp and I can do this with your social media. I was like, I can do that. Like, why am I not just doing like something? So I was like, screw it, I'm just going to do something. So then I just started doing those tasks myself. So what I find happens is I start doing something, I master it, and then I can handball it to someone. And so that's what happened. I just relaxed about life, and my business kind of came good again, and I was able to hand off some of those tasks. And so now I'm like nailing funnels and nailing email, and I can see that I'll hand that off. So it just means I have this increasingly big offering for people, and it's not all on me to learn everything and to understand everything. Actually, I can find people I trust and get them to take care of stuff for me. Which
that's amazing.
Yeah. For the customer means you don't have to like have 15 meetings. You just have one meeting with Kat and she just sorts it out, and then she handballs tasks. And the same with me. Like, you don't have to have a meeting with me and a VA and a web developer. You just meet me and I just sort the shit out for you. So it's a really nice thing for people who are hassled, and, you know, you have kids, you have your clients, you have strangers in the street, and then you've got to also have like a web developer, a graphic design, all this different stuff. It just means
correct.
Yeah, I'm the one point of engagement. It just simplifies it for people.
And that's awesome, because then each of you are focusing on what you love doing and what you do best. So what result can your clients get other than awesome results? Because if you are all putting your heart and your soul in what you're doing because that's what you love, then the result is much better than trying to do everything on your own. So that's one of the things that I love about collaboration, because the value that you add to your customers is, you know, amazing when you all focus on what you do best.
Yeah, and then you have such a quality product.
Exactly. And you can offer better prices as well, or better packages to them that, you know, are more affordable and that are delivering what they need, and you simplify their life pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's one of the amazing things of collaboration. And the other thing is, you know, sorry, the fact that you don't need to sort things out for yourself. So you can just go and talk. So that helps with isolation as well, because as a business owner that work from home, or a home business owner, sometimes isolation can be a little bit challenging, right?
I mean, for me, totally. I need to connect with people, and it also helps me feel not like a weirdo, because sometimes if I'm at home building an automation, I'm like, yes, this is so great, and then I go and talk to some normal person, I'd be like, and I just can't talk to them. I can't go, yeah, I made this amazing automation, I split tested it and I had exceptions and it was so good, and people just I can't talk to any. So it means I have people on the page with me, and we just get off like, we just love marketing. It feels really good to be understood.
That's and then that's another thing then, you know, that energy that you get for from connecting and interact way to nurture each other's energy and motivations and things like that. So it's all positive. I mean, from what I'm hearing from you and what I've experienced as well with collaborations, this is just like the positive things that you can get out of it are amazing for everyone involved, the team, the clients, everyone. So your family, because I guess that you are happier with your business and you feel that everything is flowing much easier, and that in terms of leveraging your time, how would you say this collaboration has leveraged your time and your budget as a business owner?
I get confused about leverage. I guess, like I said, I develop a system and then I can hand it on. So in that way, that massive skill that I've acquired, or that massive knowledge that I've acquired through learning a process, no one else has to learn that. Like you don't have to relearn something that's already been learned. You can hand over a chunk of knowledge. So that's a good way of leveraging myself rather than having to reinvent the wheel all the time. And yeah, I guess for me, it feels like the systematization, that you do have to have some systems, because like you said, that's all the positive things. Like some of the negative things about collaboration can be, sometimes you feel like you're in a meeting all the time, and sometimes you feel like you have to talk about everything. Sometimes it feels like, oh my God, I could have just done it myself. It took me so long to explain it to you. But then the leveraging comes in that really you only have, if the person's sharp, you only have to explain it once or maybe twice, and then it's out of your court and someone else is handling that, and you can just relax. And because I've done the task, if they have a challenge, I'm here. Like I totally get it. I know which buttons to press. So that feels like leveraging as well.
Yeah, and I guess that from what you said, that the relationship started between you and Kat, everything started from that. Basically, connecting and building a relationship. Probably you got to, maybe not, you will tell us, but you probably get to do things together, that were not necessarily involving profit or monetary reward, I guess. Maybe you were exchanging knowledge or sharing, the relationship was developing. And then once you figure out that you actually work together really well, then that second step was taken. But everything started from a relationship, right?
Totally, yeah. And so the other things that we do are often we go to a face-to-face networking event together, just because it's nice to have someone else in the room when you're like, oh, get me away from this person. You have a roommate. And also, so she has ClickFunnels, the really posh version with all the bells and whistles, which is quite an expense. Like it's a real investment. It's a hardcore business investment in terms of it costs a bunch. And so I use that tool, and I can use that for my clients, and that's totally available for me, as well as all the training. And then I just have, for 12 months, we have an agreement like that. I give her a slightly reduced rate. So that is kind of one of those cool things. It's like not a monetary benefit. I mean, it kind of is, but it's just one of those things we decided. It's like it benefits her for me to know how to use ClickFunnels. It benefits me to have ClickFunnels accessible for certain clients that need it. And yeah, and it's great for her to have a slightly lower rate. And yeah, it's good for both of us.
Exactly. And for your clients, which at the end, you are serving them the best way possible. You're just trying to offer them all the solutions that they need in just, with just one face. So you are the face, and you have everything for them to offer, even though you don't do it everything on your own. So that is fantastic. That's a really good value for them.
Yeah, and I've only just come around to saying we. Like for a long time, I was doing personal branding, and I was like I. And I felt weird about saying we. But now I feel weird about saying I. It's like, well, I don't actually do that. Like someone else does that. But I guess I represent the brand, and I am the quality overseer of everything. So it's changed the way my business operates for now. And I'm good with it. I enjoy that role.
That's awesome. That's excellent. I really like how everything is looking for you and for your business.
Thank you.
So I'm excited for you. And from we've kind of touched on some of that, but if you could share with people 3 main things that you will suggest to them when they are exploring collaboration opportunities.
Yeah.
What are 3 things that you think that need to exist to make sure that that's a successful collaboration?
Well, it may not apply to all collaborations, but for me, I really need things to be out. Like if there is some tension or there's been some confusion, that I guess I feel wide open with those people all the time. And I feel like that really helps me personally. Like if someone has an issue with me and they don't tell me, I know. And so I really need things to be out. So I guess maybe a broader way of saying that is just to make sure that you have some similar values or communication style. There has to be a couple of things that you really agree on. And I feel like it's the same with co-parenting. Like there's been times where, you know, when you get really close friends and then you're looking after their kids or they're looking after your kids or you're together with the kids, sometimes someone's really permissive or like I tend to always feel like I'm really more authoritative. But there's a couple of things I feel like you have to agree on: the food and you have to agree on the sleep, and then you can kind of parent together in the same house. So I feel like it's the same with a collaboration. You have to kind of agree on how to communicate, and you have to have the same kind of underlying mission. So for us with Feisty, even though it's not on our forward facing stuff anywhere, like that we want to change the world with marketing and the internet, I know that all 3 of us really care about the earth and about helping humans evolve, and that the technology is a vehicle for that. So yeah, values and communication style are good to have. And well, I like systematization, like finding
a shared mission.
Yeah, a shared mission. Yeah. And good tools, like having some good tools. Like I know a lot of people like Asana, figuring out some tools that you all use together that kind of work for you. So at the moment we're using a tool called Podio, which I didn't even know about. So yeah, just finding a way to communicate that reduces having to have 50 million meetings all the time. That's going to work for you. So it might be Asana, it might be Evernote, it could be Podio. My other new one that I'm loving is called, I'm just trying to find what it's called. I think it's called Meister Task or Taskmeister or something like that. And it's an offshoot of MindMeister. So MindMeister is a mind mapping software that's in a browser. And then they also have this productivity tool that links up with the mind maps, and I just started yesterday and I'm loving it. So yeah, finding ways. So for me, you need systems, because otherwise you're just duplicating. Like I know we have messages in Facebook Messenger, emails, and then we have SMS messages, and it's like, guys, this is ridiculous. Like I can't find anything. So like finding one channel that's the place where you talk about everything, and you can scroll through and search and find things, passwords. Seems to be an endless thing.
Okay, I like that. You have an idea there for your Berta talks, because I know that you do a great job in YouTube. So guys, if you haven't followed Natasha on YouTube, you have to, because she shares lots of valuable information that you will love. So here you have a new topic for your talks. Maybe the collaborative tools that you use to system. So that's a new one that you might, and let me know when you get it done, because I would love to share that with all my followers as well, because I think that's a really good piece of advice, because that's part of the communication, right? Like the first thing you thought of when you were talking about things that you will suggest people to keep in mind when collaborating to make sure that it's successful, you said straight away some kind of communication, open communication, so clear communication. So that's part of the communication bit, having those systems in place that work for all of you, and that make things easier for everyone and clear for everyone as well. So that's awesome. And then just to try and share with those that are listening, what are the things that you think when you think about business collaboration, how important, or what's the first thing that you can recommend people to start to identify those potential collaboration opportunities? So how can they identify if there is some space for collaboration with other businesses? In your experience, what have been 2 or 3 things that you've always consider before exploring collaboration opportunities with other entrepreneurs or business owners?
Well, I think the biggest cue for me, like the thing that triggers me, is always like what I'm hating. And the same for Kat, like what she's just not digging. So I think that is quite a good indicator for you. It's like, oh, I feel about writing, or like I have little typos and my editing's not amazing. So just to sort of make a mental note of the things that you feel like are your weaknesses, or that you just don't enjoy, is a good cue. And then, like I said, I think just asking people who aren't in work, oh, so you're not working right now? Oh no, I'm staying home with my kids. Oh, would you want work? Because where I live, there is quite a lot of unemployment, or people who are kind of underemployed. So, or even relatives or anyone that you just like and you get along with, it's worth asking, like, oh, if you could do anything, what would you do? Like, just out of curiosity. Like, people never think I'm stalking them for collaborations, but I am just genuinely interested. So I always ask people, like,
I'm the same.
Yeah,
and I think it's my HR background that I interview people. So I interview people everywhere.
Yeah. So like, what would you do? And then people go, well, I am working for doing this sort of thing. But what I really love is, and you can tell because a person's face changes, and they're usually really good at that. And I'm like, oh, well, how much would you want an hour to do that? And then I'm like, okay, we're in. So I just ask the question. And yeah.
Okay, I think those 2 will do.
Yeah.
And then from your marketing, and it's kind of related to this question, but more from an exposure and marketing point of view, what would you say to people are the 3 main benefits, or the 3 main ways that they could collaborate with other businesses? Maybe in a not as deep as you are working with your team right now, that you are actually a team and you are packaging your services together, but something more from a marketing point of view, as a marketing tool. How important it is business, collaborating with other businesses, and what are 3 of the main benefits that you will see as a marketing specialist or strategist of collaborating?
Yeah, well, definitely doing this kind of thing, like if you're bold enough to interview someone and then use that as content for your website or social media, is a great thing to do. And actually, like December 2015, I started doing these things called Blabs, which was a different platform. So you could have 4 people live at once on the screen. And I did loads of them, and I would just have like a dozen women, and we would cycle through the screens, and we would all just get on and have a chat. And it was like speed dating. I would just ask people, like, what do you do? Give us a tip, and what's your offer? And I met heaps of people. Those people got to know me, and we were like in party mode together. And then they would be mentioning me. Like, a lot of my marketing up to date has been through the heart-centered soul-driven entrepreneur group, which is now a 20,000 people strong group.
Amazing. It's an amazing group.
Massive. So it really helps in those bigger groups if other people are because you can't be on there 24/7 looking for business opportunities. But if a bunch of people know you and someone says, oh, I really need a hand with my email automation, someone will tag me and go, oh, Natasha's, you know, great for that. And so you instantly increase your word of mouth. You have all these advocates running around helping you get new leads and putting you into a new network of people that you never would have connected to before. So I would say, yeah, definitely just getting on video with a bunch of other people and having a chat is great. And I guess if you're running retreats, you might want other participants to come on, or doing workshops together is really fun. I know Julie Novotny down here in the Bega Valley is great for getting people on with the business networking breakfast. So take opportunities like that. If someone's offering an opportunity to go and speak in front of a group, even though it can be terrifying, it also just connects you with people. And going to networking events and just being really curious, it's really, really helpful, and it's a benefit. Yeah, I think it just turns everyone you meet into an advocate, and they're like a walking billboard for you, and not in like I'm going to use people way, but I have a natural curiosity and a natural desire to connect, so it really works for me, and I think a lot of women do.
Yeah, definitely. And it's getting more popular. Just hang on a second, let me just connect my charger.
Oh yeah.
So I agree with you. Like with mom and with women, there is more and more groups, Facebook groups out there where you can connect and build relationships with people. You don't need to actually go physically to a networking event to be able to meet other people and connect with other people. So now with technology, you can actually do it as well. So amazing resources available, and groups, and just connections, I guess. Just focusing on connections and building relationships, I think that would be really helpful for anyone looking to explore collaboration opportunities. So anything else that you would like to share, Natasha, from your experience with collaboration? Any piece of advice that you would like to give?
Yeah, I just also had another thought about like you can have a day a week where you mention another business, and so you know you're doing them a favor and you're showcasing them, like especially if it's someone whose service you've loved or you've seen what they're doing and it's helped you, to remember to mention that. And it also gives you a post a week that you don't have to think about, like what content am I going to create today. And that's made a lot of beautiful connections for me. And it can also be a really useful strategy if word of mouth is helpful for your business, to get your clients in front of your fan base. So just to mention your existing clients gives them more exposure, and it helps your your customers that are recurring. I'm trying to think of what that's called. It just helps stop churn. Like if you have clients that can be ongoing and they're always going to come back to you, and churn is when you lose them. So you keep them coming back to you, and it's a great strategy for your marketing, as well as people that you haven't worked with yet that you just love them, and it just builds a lot of goodwill.
Yeah, and so shout outs will be a good way.
Yeah.
And of course, from a marketing point of view, that if you are going to pick a business that you are going to support every week, that's a really good way of both shout out, as a shout out for the business, and also as from a content creation point of view is a fantastic idea as well. So so many benefits here from marketing point of view. So thanks so much. I think that you've shared a lot of tips and hints. And for those that would like to connect with you, Natasha, where will you suggest them to follow you and find you?
Yeah, well, I have my I'm on Facebook a lot. I have my business page there that's just / Natasha Berta Media, and I've also got a new website coming. If you go there now, it will be crazy, but hopefully it will take you a little while to produce this and get it publicly. So that's just natashaberta.com, and I have a group called Marketing Mastery, for, I think it's officially called Marketing Mastery for Spiritual Entrepreneurs. And that's a place where I am actually hanging out there more than my Facebook page. So if you want to connect with me personally, if you've got something you want me to have a look at it, or that's where I post articles and all kinds of stuff. So that's where I tend to be hanging out, and it's a good group. I guess I can give you the link. You can put it in the show notes or something.
Yes, that would be awesome, because then they can share with people where they can find you. I'm so sorry.
It's so hilarious.
What's
like ignoring
this is what happens in reality.
Right.
When you and if we, oh my God, and if we say to people that I just left my charger in the venue today, and that's why I'm connected on my phone. So I think that you can send me your social media channels that you would like me to share, and I will certainly share that on the notes for the interview, and also on my Facebook page, Colabora. So I really loved having you here in the interview series. Let's talk about business collaboration, and I'm really happy we managed to get it done despite of all the challenges with technology. I'm really looking forward to share this with all our followers. And thanks so much for your tips, Natasha.
My
Thanks
pleasure.
so much.
Thanks, darling.